happened to this San Antonio defense? I was really salivating on Thursday for a chance to finally back this unit at this point in the season, and Jalen McClendon totally proved me wrong. There were a few key points in the first series that McClendon has played all season that allowed him to build confidence. And I really hate to single a guy out, but Cam Kelly was on the wrong end of those big Jalen McClendon plays. There was a clear pick that he missed. You'll see it in our highlights coming up. It was an angle that he took wrong. It went for a big first down completion. Then Cam Kelly gets steamrolled by Sean Price using the people stiff arm, just shrugs him off. And that's the kind of confidence that Jalen McClendon needed. A score on his opening drive. There was also a key fumble recovery. Delonte Scott rushed McClendon, and Eatman, the right tackle, fell on that one. That would have been a turnover. Jalen McClendon, because of the confidence he was able to build, he ends up 21 of 31, 264 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Most importantly, no picks, and a win. What a show to silence me and all the Jalen McClendon doubters who went against him in both betting and maybe some of you who didn't want to start him in daily fantasy. He took maybe the hardest hit of the XFL season from Drew Beasley in the third quarter, and he popped right back up. I mean, it was a soul-crushing hit from Beasley. McClendon's tough. And people might forget, Jeff Badet had to leave this game with an injury. So you're out there in your first start without your top target pretty much the whole second half. But other guys stepped up for him. Rod Smith had the huge hurdle. Big guy to hurdle, by the way. Rod Smith's like 6'3", 240. Getting airborne. John Lovett, he made a big play here. Look at this. Bounced it outside. Wow, that was great timing, Zook. Bounced it outside. It would have gone for a loss of 2, and that was 4th and goal. So huge from him. 6 points on that one. Matthew Sexton, breakout game. He had 4 catches, 72 yards. Really a complete team effort from the Vegas Vipers, and I'm shocked because I was very critical of their defense and special teams. I know Bailey Giffen missed another field goal, but as you just saw there, the punter forced a fumble and recovered it. Huge. What else do we know about this game? San Antonio had 30 yards rushing. And Kurt Bankert was nailed several times in this one. That San Antonio offensive line did not protect him. He actually went in the tunnel, and he ended up playing with broken ribs. Kurt Bankert announcing on his Twitter this morning, the results are back. 3 broken ribs for Bankert. What a disaster for San Antonio. It's really tough right now. You lost Reed Sinnett, broke his foot. Kurt Bankert, big signing, got the momentum back. He comes in. Not even through his first start, he breaks his ribs. Now you're left with Jack Cohn, who has had a bad ankle for weeks, sat the last 2, and Juwan Pass, who you tried to start 2 weeks ago, but was ultimately benched in favor of Bankert. So really only one healthy quarterback. Where does San Antonio turn? Maybe they're the ones who needed Luis Perez. Whew. I don't know what to do if you're San Antonio. We know Jimmy Johnson's going to have his work cut out for him. Remember, he was the run game coordinator coming into this season for the Brahmas and was promoted to offensive coordinator by Hines Ward, I think because he thought they weren't running the ball effectively or running it enough. And I get Kalen Ballage is out, but you can't have 30 yards rushing. Not against a Vegas defense who got gouged for over 130 per game this season. Worst rush defense in the league just held San Antonio to 30 yards. And the defense was awful. They let Jalen McClendon absolutely shred them. Brahmas 2-5 against the spread. Vegas is the same. Both teams 2-5 overall. And how about the under in this one, Zook? Wow. No points in the last 26 minutes. And they had, by the way, shout out ESPN. Ian Fitzsimmons on the sideline clutching his ticket, saying he had the under. Can you imagine? What a sweat. And what a time for ESPN to break out their sideline reporter having a ticket in his hand. I mean, you're sweating the whole third quarter and the rest of the fourth. Bailey Giffen missed like his 28th field goal of the year, and it was hilarious to see the play-by-play and the analysts go crazy for Fitz down there. We need more of that, by the way. I want more sideline reporters that can relate to us at home as we're sweating out our bets. That was really fun to see. It's a shame ESPN ruined it on Sunday by giving us pickleball nationals that delayed the start of the St. Louis game. But some other things that stood out to me from this one. I felt like San Antonio has started every game with a lead. So I went and did some research to see if I was right. San Antonio has scored first in 6 of 7 games. Those are leads that coaches at every level dream about having, and they're 2-5. The offense doesn't work. The defense has held all year. Now they had a stinker, and there's been zero improvement, really, from the shift from Jamie Elizondo to Jimmy Johnson. I get the injuries, but really, was it that great? Maybe if Sinet was able to stay healthy, they're better. But Jack Cohn wasn't it either. Now, does he come back in and start? Or do you go with Jawan Pass next week? I know it's year one. And listen, I didn't have the expectations for the Brahmas that a lot of you did. You can go back to week 1. I had them 7th in the preseason poll. Thought it was going to take some time for Hines Ward and co. But this has been even a little worse than I thought they were. I got to give a shout out to the Vegas Vipers. Congratulations for the win. They needed one desperately. Kind of an up and down team. Did not expect them to come out with Jalen McClendon, but similar to Quentin Dormady, maybe he's the answer that Vegas is looking for down the stretch. Huge opportunity for them on the road to knock off St. Louis, and they got nothing to lose. Remember that. That's key here. St. Louis, everything in the world to lose. If they lose to Vegas next week, they're pretty much going to have to beat Seattle twice to make the playoffs. Vegas, sitting back, nothing to lose. Here we go. We're coming in the Dome. We'll have to get Jeff Badet back and healthy.